basically everything that I'm going to be talking about over the next couple of months is going to be whatever I look out the window and see while we're writing F is for Family. So, anyways, the other day we're in the writer's room, actually yesterday, and all of a sudden we just hear like this fucking commotion, right? And we look out our windows and there's all these protesters just walking down the fucking, taking up like a street, a lane of the street, like, like bike riders do now. You know what I mean? When they ride down the street, if there's two of them, rather than riding single file, they ride side by side because they want to talk and, fuck the 50 cars that are behind them. Oh, and then, by the way, if they actually get hit, it's this major fucking tragedy. Like, oh my God, can you fucking believe that happened? Yes, I can totally believe that happened. Completely. A bicycle is simply a motorcycle without an engine. That's what you're riding around on. But I know you're dressed up like you're in the Tour de France. You're feeling a little European like that dude in Breaking Away. Maybe you're speaking in Italian. And you kind of forget that you're riding a bicycle out in the street in Los Angeles. Home to arguably some of the worst drivers on the planet. All right? And I've always gone off on technology and shit, saying I don't like it, saying like we had enough technology somewhere around the early 90s. We should have stopped right about there. You let people die off. Stop trying to cure fucking diseases. Stop making new technology that everybody has to go out and go buy. Let's just stop right fucking here, okay? I mean, can you remember the early 90s? It was fucking great. It was fine. Cars were fast enough. Everything was fine. You didn't have to go any further than that. Wasn't it better when everybody wasn't on the fucking internet? I think it was. Even though I'm sitting here on the internet right now, I'd be willing to walk away from this shit. It was a fucking great time. Everything you did wasn't filmed. It wasn't fucking recorded. There wasn't some satellite pointing at you, tracking you down the streets. You try to get to a Dairy Queen, but also the Illuminati can fucking take you out because they probably own that satellite. Turn on some chip in your car and make you drive into a fucking tree. I mean, come on, people. These are very mainstream stories here. Anyways, these fucking they must have had a permit because there was a cop in front of them and behind them, and they're just walking down the street. And I got to tell you something, all right? I'm all for the working man. I'm all for that type of shit. But the second you go out in the fucking street and you start blocking traffic, I don't give a shit if you're trying to save babies. I hate you, and I want to rent a cement truck and run you over. Like, I was sitting in an office. They weren't causing me any trouble, and just the empathy that I had for the people trying to drive around them made me want somebody to just fishtail into the fucking crowd. So if you've ever been in a protest, let me ask you this question. Isn't the objective to not only call attention to whatever it is you're complaining about, but then don't you want people to listen and then be like, oh, wow, I didn't know that was going on. So why would you annoy the shit out of everybody by like clogging up traffic? To me, it's no different than fucking terrorists. A lot of times, whatever terrorists are bitching about, I'm like, yeah, I totally understand why you're upset about that. But to then go and blow up a bunch of innocent people, I'm just like, yeah, well, that's not the way you solve it. Right? Am I oversimplifying this? It's not like we don't fly over there and drop bombs and, oops, did that land on your baby? Yeah, we were trying to get the bad guy. Sorry, your baby was within a 30-mile radius. I don't know. Anyways, do you guys have that? Do you have like I actually enjoy riding a bike, but I am an old school bike rider. Like, I ride up on the sidewalk. I don't wear a helmet. I don't ride 90 miles an hour down the sidewalk, and I don't care when people who walk on the sidewalk give me a fucking dirty look. It's just like, I'm not going out there in traffic because I know everybody out there is like me, and they're texting while they're driving, or they're fucking air drumming. God knows how many people are out there on prescription pills. To go out there on a fucking motorcycle without an engine is really fucking stupid. And I feel like this thing with like bike riders, they have this thing where they feel like they're these victims. And I find them way, way more hostile considering the position that they're in. And they have this whole fucking, you will respect me and I have just as much as a right to be out here, which you do. You do. I mean, even though there is no bike lane, they just painted a bicycle on the fucking street so they could get the federal grant. That's the only reason why they do that shit, right? And then, you know, all right, so you have a right to be out there, but then you have to obey the rules of the road, and 99% of you don't. When's the last time you saw a guy on a bicycle actually stop at a fucking red light? They never do. They never do. They fucking look both ways. They fucking glide right through the fucking thing. And then if they get hit, then they frost the bicycle. Like, oh, well, can you believe that happened? What a poor baby. I don't know. I have to tell you, though, people who ride bicycles out here in Los Angeles are out of their fucking minds. And I am so anti those fucking cars that are going to drive themselves. Until I go on the highways out here in Los Angeles, I'm just like, you know what I really think it should be? I think if you suck at driving, they should just take your right to drive away. You can still have a car, but the car will drive for you because you suck at it. You know what I mean? But I think if you're actually a decent driver, you should then be allowed to continue driving. So I think if you got rid of people who sucked at driving, right off the bat, conservatively speaking, I'd say that's at least 30% of drivers. You know? And then I think that middle, 30 to 35% will just have the option. Because there's a lot of people that are actually decent at driving, but they're like, dude, if I could just fucking take a nap and just sleep on the way to work for 45 minutes and just wake up when I'm there, I would rather do that. So you figure it, at least half of them are going to do it initially, and then a half of those halves are going to be like, well, he has a self-driving car. I grass is always greener. I want one of those too. And then I think you'll just basically get down to 18% of people that actually truly enjoy driving. And we'll get our own lane. This is my dream. We get our own lane. We get to drive as fast as we want. And you guys are just all in robot cars, And then everybody who actually still continues to drive, those are the people that, when they're the first guy to make a left, they get way out into the intersection. They feel a sense of responsibility that two cars behind them will make it. Those types of people, those people that realize the further left you go, the faster you go. And if somebody's on your bumper, you don't slam on the brakes, you get over. That person's obviously in more of a hurry than you are. You fucking let him go. That's probably 18% of drivers, wouldn't you say? You like how I just painted myself as the fucking hero and all that? Oh, yeah, I'm one of the guys. I'm one of the guys that knows how to do the things correctly. All right, that's the podcast for this Thursday. Have a wonderful weekend, you cunts. If you're protesting and you want my support, stay up on the sidewalk. If you're riding a bicycle, please be careful and ride single file and have some fucking courtesy for the people behind you. And if there's a red light, why don't you fucking stop at the thing, okay? And stop wearing aerodynamic shit, all right? It doesn't make you any faster, and there's nothing at stake, all right? Ah, what a douche.